Aston Villa are having a great season. Under Unai Emery's tutelage, they're riding high in the Premier League and have hopes of finally qualifying for the Champions League. But with the board nervous about what they can achieve this season, they've made the crazy decision to sack Emery and instead put their faith in me that I can take this team to the next level and maybe win a trophy along the way. Now, as you can see from the starting 11, the team are actually in pretty decent shape. We've got some star players, the likes of Ollie Watkins and Moussa Diaby, as well as a World Cup winning goalkeeper and Emi Martinez between the sticks. And whilst the starting 11 may not be world class, the players are rated pretty decent for the main part, and there's some decent potential for some of the younger players as well. So right now I think I only have cause for concern for a few different positions in the team, starting at right back with Matty Cash. Now this guy is an important figure at the club, and with him being 25 years of age, he definitely has his best years ahead of him, plus he offers us a lot of versatility down that right hand side, so I definitely don't want to get rid of him. But as you can see, with the youngster Kessler Hayden being the only other player who can play on the right hand side of defence, I may want to consider bringing in someone who can at least provide some competition for the young Polish man. Now it could be argued that left back is the next position in my starting 11 that could be the weakest. With Luca Dean only rated 89, he's one of the few players in the starting 11 who haven't hit the 80 mark, and with him being 29 years of age, he's unlikely to improve much further. However, this man Alex Moreno has hit the 80 mark. He is exactly 80 rated, but again, with him being 30 years of age, perhaps he doesn't have time on his side, but he does have that something special, so I think I should be fairly well stocked, at least for season 1, on the left hand side of my defence. Now the biggest issue for me is up front. Ollie Watkins is a no-brainer, he has to start up front, and Moussa Diaby, being the highest rated attacking player at the club, isn't really a natural striker and he has to play on the right hand side. However, I'm not going to let him replace McGinn, as he is our club captain and an absolute legend at the club. So with that in mind, I'm not exactly sure that this 4-4-2 formation is going to work for us perfectly, so I think I'm going to have to consider mixing things up for the foreseeable future. Now as you can see, I do have a few different recommended formations on the right hand side, and the one that I think might work the best for us this season is this 4-1-4-1. It gives me the option of having 3 players in the heart of my central midfield, and McGinn can now move back into his rightful central midfield spot. It does mean that Moussa Diaby can head out on the right hand side and really offer us that threatening creativity in a position that is perfectly suited to him. And it does mean that this man Ollie Watkins can be the sole striker and the man to lead our line this season. However, with us only having a 68 rated 19-year-old Duran as the only other striker on the bench, it's another position that perhaps we don't need to improve our starting position, but we might need to get some additional competition for this man, at least in season 1. We're starting off with the outgoing transfers though, and the most important high-profile ones, and it is Leander Den Donker who's the first man to depart Aston Villa Football Club this summer, as he leaves for the German club Cologne for a £5.6 million fee, and he is very quickly followed out the door by Robert Olsen as he joins Union Berlin for 1.6. The former Southampton, Arsenal and now formerly Aston Villa man Callum Chambers has just not been able to make the grade in the English Premier League, as he becomes the third man to depart, this time for Turkish side Galatasaray for £3.2 million. The 19-year-old Honduran, the only backup to Ollie Watkins this season, has managed to secure a loan move to another Premier League side in Brentford for the next season. And finally, Bertrand Traore, another man who's failed to make the grade at Aston Villa, he departs to a London team in Fulham for £5.2 million. However, whilst this man is the youngest of our departures so far this season, he is the one that I do have my eye on for the remainder of the season. I'm going to be very interested to see how he gets on at Brentford, but his departure does leave us with a gaping hole behind this man Ollie Watkins, and it means I'm definitely going to have to go into the market for another central striker. And with those departures helping us add to our transfer budget, bringing us up to a whopping £98 million, I'm pretty confident we're going to have enough money to try and improve this squad. However, even though I said it's imperative that we bring someone in to try and compete with this man up front this season, I'm not quite sure exactly who I want to bring in right now, so let me know down in the comments below, who do you want to see up front and who do you want to compete with this man Ollie Watkins for the remainder of the season, and I will be sure to check them out. One area of the team though that I do have a very clear indication as to who I want to bring in is at right back, and that is why I'm starting negotiations for the very first player to join my Aston Villa revolution. The 22-year-old Frenchman has only just scratched the surface of appearances in Ligue 1 before making his name for himself in Turkey with the huge Turkish giants Galatasaray, but now, after starting to try and establish himself on the French international scene, he is ready to make his big move to the Premier League, and that is why I have forked out £22.5 million for the Frenchman Sacha Boey. As you can see, he's the same rating as Matty Cash, but that incredible pace and high attacking and defensive work rate, plus the fact he's got phenomenal physical stats and he's got age on his side being the younger of the two men, I'm confident that this man can establish himself long term as our number one right back at the club. However, frustratingly for me, after good news, bad news immediately follows it, as one of our most attacking, influential players in Moussa Diaby is subject to a £61.6 million offer from German side RB Leipzig. Now, it is his first season at the club for Aston Villa, as he has just joined the club in the summer, and I don't think £61.6 million is enough to tempt him away from the club. However, I am going to reject the offer for now, but I'm sure he will be very keen for us to climb up the table this season to make sure that no other team can steal him away from us. Now, speaking of Diaby, as you can see, he is clearly my strongest attacking and right-sided player, but it is a position that I'm pretty well stocked on. I've got the likes of Leon Bailey and Buendia both on the bench, plus I've got the more naturally suited Zaniolo, who's had to be shunted out to the left-hand side due to a lack of players that I've got who can play on the left-hand side of midfield instead. The only one being Jacob Ramsey, but with him only being 22 years of age and having the versatility to play both on the left, right and in the centre, I'm still not quite sure whether or not the left side of midfield is the best position for the young Englishman. So again, let me know down in the comments below what you think. With a wide variety of players to play on the right-hand side of midfield, but a dearth of options who can potentially play on the left-hand side, should I consider giving this young man, Jacob Ramsey, a run out as my starting left-hand side midfielder? Or should I consider training the development plans of my more established players like Buendia or Leon Bailey or perhaps even Zaniolo to try and focus their training on the left-hand side of midfield and turn them into my starting left wingers? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. For now though, with us just being one day away from our starting game against Newcastle in the Premier League, it is time to establish exactly how I want this team to set up. Now, it's no surprise to see, as with all of the modern teams these days, I want my team to be pressing high from the front, trying to win the ball back as quickly as possible. And that means we'll be pressing after possession loss, we'll be building up fast in a more direct style, and we will be trying to pile players into the box to try and see if we can take advantage of some attacking opportunities. Ollie Watkins, the man who's going to be leading the line for us, it's important for me for him to stay central, but I also want to make sure that every single time he gets the opportunity to run for the ball, he will be getting in behind defences and making them pay with that high line. And it's absolutely imperative that we start this season on the right foot, because the board have got some incredibly lofty objectives. They want me to finish in a Champions League place in the league, they want me to win the FA Cup for the first time in almost 30 years, and they also want me to win the Europa Conference League in our very first season in the competition. And with our first game only a day away, as you can see, I am taking a bit of a risk here. I've still got £80 million in the budget, and so far I've only brought in one player to try and bolster my squad, and that is a right back who's not even come in to start in my starting 11, only to compete with this man, Matty Cash. And that is simply because I want to hear from you guys what you think. Who do you want to see in an Aston Villa shirt this season, and what positions in my team do you think we need to improve on? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. It is now time, though, to get stuck straight into the action, as we are going to kick off our Premier League campaign against Newcastle, the Geordie Giants, away from home. This team absolutely battered us in the league in real life, and we will be very keen to make sure that we don't suffer the same fate here on EAFC 24. As you can see, the start of the season means that it will be a start of my strongest starting 11. Emi Martinez starts in goal, Matty Cash does retain his place at right back with Konza and Torres in the centre of defence, Luca Dean starts on the left hand side, McGinn, Tielemans and Kamara will start in the centre of the park, Moussa Diaby on the right, Zaniolo will start on the left, and Ollie Watkins of course will lead the line for us. Pau Torres into the defensive midfielder Kamara. We will be very keen to right the wrongs of the real-life performance of Aston Villa at the start of the real season. We've got a great opportunity to do that here today, as it's a wonderful ball fired across to the left. We then go and give the ball away to Almiron. Kamara wins it back though high, and he gives it to McGinn, who finds himself on the left-hand side. Zaniolo tried to play a ball into Ollie Watkins. It was a good piece of defending by the Newcastle defenders, and now they can try and break with Almiron. Well intercepted by Konza though. End-to-end stuff here in the opening 10 minutes of this game. Moussa Diaby picks it up on the right-hand side, looks for the overlap, gives the ball away cheaply. Not the start the Frenchman would have wanted. And now Alexander Isak can try and break away for Newcastle here. He's blocked off by McGinn. Longstaff still has it though. Lovely ball into Almiron. He's in a dangerous position. Checks back, looks for an option. Pau Torres sticks a foot in. Isak though has it, and he strikes from distance, forces Martinez into an early save. Trippier, the Newcastle captain, will take the throw. It's a poor throw and it's given away really cheaply. Zaniolo though goes and gives the ball away even cheaper. Pau Torres though brilliantly at the back again with a wonderful challenge. Releases Tielemans. He can now try and drive down the right hand side. Gives it away. It's been a story of the game so far. The opening 20 minutes has been so poor from both teams. Neither team seems to be able to keep themselves in possession. Anthony Gordon though down the left hand side into target. He finds Alexander Isak. Lovely ball into Longstaff. Longstaff's got an opportunity. Another big save. Well, out of the two teams so far, Newcastle look like they're more likely to score here. here, and it's their second corner. It's another one that they're going to go short for. This time they throw it into the box, though. Luca Dean with the header away. Not very far, though. Bruno Guimaraes wins it back into Sven Botman. Lovely challenge again from Pau Torres. That man inside the opening half an hour has been an absolute rock at the heart of my defence. Mr. Diaby to switch it onto his left and fire a nice ball across to Zaniolo. Look for Zaniolo to Kieran Trippier. Won it, though. Kamara manages to win the ball back. He still has it. Doesn't have any options, though. Newcastle pressing high. Eventually, Pau Torres has it. He's under a bit of pressure here. Manages to wriggle away from the Almiron press. Finds Luca Dean. It's relentless from Newcastle at the moment. We cannot seem to find a way through. But Pau Torres now into Kamara. I'm going to try and feed this out to John McGinn on the left-hand side. He's twisting, turning, trying to find an option here. We can't seem to break Newcastle down. But instead, he goes all the way out to the left-hand side. Tries to fire it in. We get a corner. Well, it's our first corner of the game, and it's one that the Frenchman Moussa Diaby is going to take. We have to try and take advantage of these opportunities, and they are few or far between as Konza heads it wide. Kamara. Oh, Kamara. That's a really poor pass. He's giving it away again. Alexander Isak, the danger man for Newcastle, finds Bruno Guimaraes. He turns. Lovely turn to get around a couple of my players, but John McGinn, my captain, my leader, my legend, well, I thought he won the ball back, but it looks like he's given away a free kick here, and it's one that Kieran Trippier is going to take in a very dangerous position. He puts it in, and what another save from the Argentinian World Cup hero, Emi Martinez. It's another Newcastle corner here, right on the stroke of half-time. They will be desperate to score here. We will be desperate to keep the ball out of the back of our net. Kamara heads it clear, only out as far as Gordon. Takes it down really nicely, lines up a power shot. Martinez is on fire. Well, there's a reason that man is rated 86. There's a reason he's the highest rated player in my entire squad, and he's proving it today. It's thrown back in. Pau Torres again with a monster header clear, only out as far as Longstaff, into Almiron. Is he going to try and throw it across? Matty Cash blocks. Referee blows for half-time. Well, it's been an end-to-end first half here. Neither team able to break the deadlock, though, as we start off the second half at 0-0. We will be desperate to try and see if we can get a goal, but chances have been few and far between for Aston Villa so far. But Moussa Diaby will be desperate to put a stop to that, and he's fed in a ball to Ollie Watkins, who's through here. The Englishman to strike. Oh, he plays it over the bar. Diaby again to go down this right-hand side, but he cuts inside, looking for an option. Instead, tries to lift the ball over to Zaniolo. Headed away by Sven Botman, down by Almiron, and now Newcastle can try and break here. It's Anthony Gordon. He's got an option of Alexander Isak. That is a wonderful ball. He plays in, and what a save there from Martinez. Again, that man is on fire. Zaniolo fires a ball over the top into the path of Moussa Diaby, nodded it down really nicely to Matty Cash, and he can burst forward now down the right-hand side. He's got options ahead of him. Can he try and find the right ball? I'm going to try and go to the back post here. Wonderful ball in. Looking for John McGinn. What a huge head. What a goal. Well, the captain has stepped up yet again. He's done it time and time again for Aston Villa, and he's done it once again at the start of the season. Well, it was a beautiful bit of play. Lovely little nod down from Diaby, and Matty Cash, what a ball that is. And John McGinn rose highest and buried it into the top right-hand corner. Gave the goalkeeper absolutely no chance, and he gave us a 1-0 lead. Longstaff into Bruno Guimaraes, into Anthony Gordon. Newcastle looking to strike back fairly quickly here, but Konza with a wonderful challenge. Tielemans, though, gives the ball away. That is not what I wanted from the Belgian. Now Kieran Trippier into Almiron in a dangerous position. Oh, Konza is there again. Brilliant challenge, and our two centre-backs have been absolutely phenomenal today. And Konza sprays a wonderful ball all the way over to Zaniolo. Wonderful stuff here. Ollie Watkins tries to feed a ball through into Diaby. Well defended by Matt Target. Bruno Guimaraes into Anthony Gordon. Gives it away, though. McGinn, lovely turn, and McGinn now can play the ball into Luca Dean down this left-hand side. Luca Dean cuts back inside, looking for the central defensive midfielder, Kamara. He strikes, and that is why he is only a central defensive midfielder. But now Newcastle, within a blink of an eye, are 2-on-1 here. My defenders, where on earth were they going? It's out wide to Guerrero. That is not the ball they would have wanted to play. The attack is still on, though, and in the end, Martinez is forced into another big save. My word, he has kept us in the game today. Yuri Tielemans now has it, plays it down the line into Moussa Diaby. He's going to look to stretch his legs past the fatigued Fabian Schär. Instead, cuts back in on his left. Really nicely done by the Frenchman. Shapes it onto his left to strike. Oh, he just puts it over the bar. It doesn't matter, though, because the referee finally blows for full time. Very happy Aston Villa players and a very happy John McGinn. That man, his goal was the only goal today, and it was enough to seal a vital 1-0 win away from home. A brilliant way to start the season, and it stuck us right into the Champions League places immediately, and that is where we want to stay for the foreseeable future. John McGinn will get the plaudits for his goal today, but for me, the most important men on the pitch were this man, Emilio Martinez. Unbelievable saves, kept us in the game, and he will be delighted of his clean sheet. Plus, with Pau Torres making his Aston Villa debut on this career mode, and with Ezri Konza, they both formed an unbelievable partnership, and hopefully long will it continue for the foreseeable future in this career mode. And we are getting straight back into the action. This time, we are heading to Villa Park for our very first home game of the season. It is not going to be an easy one though in front of our home fans as we welcome Everton, a resurgent Everton under Sean Dyche, who will be desperate to land their first 3 points of the season. That man Moussa Diaby will be hoping for another good performance as those fans will be hoping for another 3 points. And after a strong win against Newcastle in our season opener, it's no surprise to see that we do retain the same starting 11 for the second game running. Finds Matty Cash. Nice ball out wide. Matty Cash going to try and look for some options ahead of him. What a ball into Youri Tielemans. Gets caught up but manages to shift it onto his left and strikes straight at Pickford. Early stop for the Everton goalkeeper. Harrison being chased down by McGinn. Does a really nice job of skipping away from the challenge though. Can't get away from the challenge of Kamara. But he does eventually manage to just bundle his way through. And now Beto. Beto to go past Konza. Lovely stuff from Beto. Oh, nice shot. But an even better save from Martinez. And it's going to be Harrison who's going to take it. And it looks like he's going to try and fire this one in. He does. Into the edge of my 6-yard box. My word. Beto came in with a thumping header. But he was beaten to it by my defenders. But Harrison still has it. Matty Cash though with a wonderful challenge. He can try and break though. But instead gives the ball away and goes out of play. It's now an Everton throw. They take it quick. Harrison has it again. Cash makes amends though. And Youri Tielemans can get the ball clear. Nice pass into Lucadinho who's come inside there. Nice little reverted fullback position. He finds Moussa Diaby. Diaby finds Tielemans. Tielemans looking for an option. He finds Matty Cash as he managed to stay on side. Instead he tries to float it in. Gets it all wrong. Youri Tielemans. He's been a very influential figure so far in this game. He'll be eager to at least get an assist or perhaps even a goal today. And now Lucadinho though has an option down the left hand side. Going to try and flow this one in right to the back post to Moussa Diaby. Oh, he got his header all wrong. It was a wonderful opportunity for the Frenchman and he couldn't take advantage of it. Doucouré. Into Dele Alli, making an unlikely start for the Evertonians. He will be desperate to put in a good performance here today. But Moussa Diaby now has it. And Diaby plays it into Ollie Watkins. He just takes too heavy a touch. Is he going to be able to bundle his way through? He does. What a fantastic flying save from Jordan Pickford. He can't believe it. Diaby will take the resulting corner. And again, he's going to try and float this one into the penalty spot. It is Konza who manages to get there ahead of the Everton defence. Pickford gets it all wrong, but eventually manages to collect the ball. My word, we are knocking on the Everton door. Matty Cash now has the ball. Plays a lovely pass into Tielemans. Again, Tielemans involved. Lovely pass from Ollie Watkins into Diaby. Fires it straight at the goalkeeper. Lucadinho fires a lovely pass out wide to Matty Cash on the right-hand side. He plays it back in. Gives it away, though, to Mikalenko. And now Everton can try and break with Beto. He is down the line into Atuna. He's being chased down by Pau Torres. Pau Torres, though, with a bit of a silly mistake, but Matty Cash comes across to cover. Brilliant Aston Villa defending as the referee blows for half-time. Well, once again, we start off a second half at 0-0. Neither team able to break the deadlock. We have been the more likely, though. We've had ample opportunities. We haven't been able to take them. Are we going to be able to take this new opportunity as Ollie Watkins now has the ball played into him? He continues his run, looking for an option ahead of him, finds Moussa Diaby. Diaby surely he's going to try and cut on his left. He does. Goes back to Matty Cash. The momentum broke down and we couldn't fashion another opportunity there. Going to be an Everton throw that Harrison is going to take right into the box here. And now Beto has it, takes it. It was a poor touch in the end. He really could have done better to put himself in a better position. But now Dele Alli has it. It's McGinn with a challenge. Doucouré still has it. It's on Yango. I think that's how you say his name. McGinn into Youri Tielemans. Can we try and hit them on the break here? It's Moussa Diaby to try and dink it across. Tarkowski came across, stepped out nicely and releases Antuna down the left-hand side. But this time it's Konza who comes across. And that man defending really well again. Moussa Diaby, though, plays it into Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins is going to try and release Diaby. He does release Diaby, and the Frenchman's got the pace to drive down this right-hand side. Is he going to try and cut it back in? He is. Tarkowski is in the way again. Everton defending for their lives here today. Dele Alli. Nice pass back into Harrison. He's been the most influential figure for Everton here, though. But he plays a wonderful ball over to an unmarked Doucouré. We are frantically trying to get back with John McGinn. He plays it into Young, the former Aston Villa man, who strikes it straight at Martinez. And eventually it's cleared by Lucadinho. Moussa Diaby into Youri Tielemans. Tielemans into McGinn. Can we try and break here? Oh, it's a brilliant piece of defending yet again from Everton just to intercept that play, get a block on it, and now they can release on Yango down the left-hand side. He cuts back, though, into Mikalenko. Gets it back from him, tries to turn Matty Cash, does turn Matty Cash. Now Tuna with the overlap into the box, cuts it back into Beto, who strikes, and he strikes past Martinez. Well, 75 minutes on the clock, and they do the dance because they have taken the lead here at Villa Park. After such a good defensive performance against Newcastle, we've let ourselves down here. Beto getting too much time and space in the box. And when you give that man that much time and space, he will make you pay. Martinez couldn't do enough. And unfortunately, we find ourselves 1-0 down into Beto, the goal scorer. Everton going to look to strike again here and try and double their lead and put the game to bed. It's Antuna down the left-hand side. Goes past Konza really nicely. What is Konza doing? Really poor into Decore. What a save from Martinez. My word, it was absolutely smashed at him. Somehow he keeps it out of the net. And now we have got to try and hit Everton on the counter-attack here. It's down the line into the substitute Leon Bailey. Into John McGinn. He's going to try and play this one forward into Ollie Watkins. What options does he have? Oh, he had options. Didn't make the right call, and that is another poor piece of attacking play there. But Pau Torres wins the ball back high. Kamara into Leon Bailey. We've got to try and see what we can do. Jack Harrison with a wonderful challenge, and that is that. Well, Sean Dyche, I said he was in charge of a resurgent Everton at the start of this game, and my word, he has shown why. My players are despondent. They are deflated after a poor performance all round. As at full-time here at Villa Park, it finishes Aston Villa 0, Everton 1. And after such a positive start, it's really disappointing to see us drop back down into the bottom half. 2 games in, and Ollie Watkins is yet to find the back of the net. A 5.9 rating overall in those 2 Premier League performances. And I've got to try and find a way to get the best out of the Englishman. Perhaps this formation is just a little bit too defensive, and perhaps I need to change my ways to try and get the best out of the likes of my attacking players like Yuri Tielemans, Moussa Diaby and Zaniolo on the left-hand side. They are going to get one more opportunity though to try and right the wrongs in this episode as we head over to Turf Moor for what is going to be a tough battle against Burnley in a game that we will be desperate to get back to winning ways in. It's our 3rd game into this season, but it's the first time I've decided to make a couple of changes to my starting 11, and that means it is a first start for the Frenchman Sacha Boey as he comes in on the right-hand side of my defence. And the other big change is Leon Bailey comes in on the left-hand side of midfield as I've decided to drop Zaniolo to the bench. McKinn into Kamara. Kamara into Yuri Tielemans. Desperate to start off the game better than we finished the last one. Now Ollie Watkins shifts it onto his left. Has the momentum gone? He fires a strike. Drags it way wide. Luca Dean out to John McGinn. Really good start here so far from us as Leon Bailey has the opportunity to strike. What a strike it was. And a big save from Trafford. Well, the velocity on that strike was absolutely incredible. And Luca Dean now has the opportunity to throw it into the box. Looking for the head of Ollie Watkins. Doesn't find it. It heads back out to the Jamaican Leon Bailey. But it will now go back out to Luca Dean. He's going to try and fire it back across. We've got another corner, and it will be that man who's going to take it, and again he will fire it in, looking for the head of Ollie Watkins, but once again he doesn't manage to find him. Diaby back into Luca Dean. This time I'm going to try and play it short into Moussa Diaby. He tries to strike from distance and plays it over the bar. Into Yuri Tielemans. Tielemans to bring the ball forward and finds McGinn. McGinn, oh my word, he's absolutely hacked down from behind, and my captain is on the floor here. I've got to hope that it's not a serious injury here. The referee is coming over. It's only a yellow card. That man has got to count himself very lucky to still be on the pitch. Let's take another look at the replay here. No attempt to play the ball. It's a reckless challenge. How on earth have Burnley managed to keep 11 men on the pitch? Cork in the centre of the park for Burnley. The first opportunity really that they've had to try and get hold of the ball and keep possession, but they've gone and given it away. And John McGinn just dances around the defender here. My word, my captain is driving forward into the box. What a drive this is from that young man. Leon Bailey to strike. What a strike it is. And what a fabulous goal. He slides on the floor in celebration. My word, what a thunderbolt of a strike. Well, he gets the goal, but it's got to be John McGinn to take the plaudits. My word, what a run to set the whole thing up. And then he just lined it on a plate for Bailey. But that was a fabulous finish with the outside of his boot, and much to Vincent Kompany's disgust, we take a 1-0 lead. Out to Sherlinoff. Oh, that's a lovely pass to Egan Riley on the right-hand side. Pau Torres, though, comes across. Another big challenge from the Spaniard. He has been very, very good so far in the opening 3 games. Ollie Watkins, though, to try and drive forward, gives the ball away. It really hasn't been a perfect start for the Englishman. Yet to find his feet at the start of this campaign, and he just can't seem to find his rhythm. Burnley, though, are trying to find their rhythm here. They've got an opportunity here, and it's a wonderful opportunity. Amdouni to strike, and he strikes it wide. But unbelievably, I've tried to fast forward and I didn't realise we've given away a foul. What is going on? They've stepped up. They've got a penalty. What on earth has just happened? Well, he celebrates. He bows in front of the crowd. I am at a complete loss as to what has just happened. Well, let's check out the replay here because he came across. He had the opportunity to strike. He was in the penalty area. How on earth was that a penalty? I don't understand. Let's go back here. He's taken the shot. As my defender must have come across and made a challenge, and somehow the referee has decided to give this a penalty. I do not know what the referee is smoking. Somehow Burnley have found themselves back in the game, and they can count themselves very, very lucky. Jordan for Burnley lifts it over to the right-hand side for Cherlinoff. Tries to go past my defenders. McGinn comes across, though. We are right on the stroke of half-time here, and if Burnley can get a goal, they will put themselves in a really strong position, and they've gone and done just that. Well, deep into stoppage time, 50 minutes on the clock. We are way over stoppage time. They've gone and completely turned this game on their head. Look at the fans. They're absolutely ecstatic. That man Martinez cannot believe what he is seeing. I don't even believe it either. We've completely fallen asleep at the back. From such a good defensive performance in the opening game of the season, we've been absolutely shocking here in the last 10 minutes, and we've gone and given away a cheap goal, and somehow Burnley have got themselves in the lead. It's 2-1. Well, yet again, at the start of the second half, we find ourselves in a really difficult position, and we find ourselves desperately needing not just one goal, but 2 goals this time. We have to try and see if we can do it. So far in this game, we have not been able to score more than 1 goal a game. We must make sure that we do something different here today. Moussa Diaby going to try and release Ollie Watkins now, and he's taken that really nicely. Has he got the pace to try and burst past the defence? He does. He doesn't really have too many options though, so instead has to cut back inside, and he gives the ball away. That has been a story of that man's season so far. He's been so poor, and he really has to snap out of it. Tries to play a ball into Leon Bailey, but gives the ball away. Diaby wins it back though, and now McGinn can try and burst forward here. McGinn, he's done again. He's gone past their players. Lovely dribbling into Leon Bailey for 2. Oh, he's gone wide. 3-0 for Burnley to try and bring it forward. We were trying to track him, but we didn't do a good enough job here. We are pressing high, but so far to no avail, as we just can't seem to get the ball back off of Burnley now. They are in the ascendancy. They've got their tails up. They're 2-1 up, and they're looking for a third to try and put the ball to try and put the game to bed. They fire it into the box to the back post. And that was a big opportunity, and one that's gone begging, and one that we breathe a sigh of relief for. Bowie into Diaby. Diaby finds Zaniolo, who's come on for Ollie Watkins, and he finds a ball out wide to Buendia, who's also come on as a sub. Buendia bursts into the box. Buendia to try and cut it back. Lovely ball into McGinn. McGinn tried to strike. What a save from the goalkeeper to keep the score at 2-1. Al Torres. Out to Moreno. We've got to try and turn the screw here in the final 10 minutes of this game, but we give the ball away. Fortunately enough, we managed to get it back. Leon Bailey shifts it onto his right, tries to blaze it against the defender. Buendia picks it up, turns, strikes straight at the goalkeeper. Alex Moreno tried to play the ball forward, but instead gave it away. McGinn wins it back though, and now Pau Torres will be the man to play it forward. Into Leon Bailey. Bailey to bring it into the box here. Leon Bailey still goes, strikes. What a save. Diaby will take the resulting corner. He's going to fire it into the edge of the box. Leon Bailey tries to head it down, doesn't get enough to it. Konza will win the ball back though, heads it back out to Diaby, into Bailey. Bailey strikes again against the goalkeeper. What a second half that man has had. Well, much to my dismay, the referee blows the whistle once again, and we have succumbed to our second defeat of the season in only our 3rd game so far. It's a disaster at full time. It's Burnley 2, Aston Villa 1. 2 losses on the bounce see us drop down to 12th place in the table. This man, Ollie Watkins, has had an absolute horror show. 3 games, no goals, and a 5.8 rating. And with only a few days remaining in the summer transfer window, but with £81 million still left in the budget, I am in desperate need of your help to decide who I should bring to this football club. But that is it for today's episode. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you again next time.